Yep. It's showtime. He's going to need to put on a show. He's going to need to show us his stuff. And there he is. It's Show from Dignitas. Down 4-0 to this guy in the teal from Alternate Attack. It is Socke looking to sweep his opponent. All kill him, if you will, on Cloud Kingdom. And this is a map, again, that I feel like Show just wants to avoid taking early damage. It's a map you can 1-1-1 on, though. So he's got a number of options. Socke is going to need to be diligent about his stalking, his scouting. It is kind of like stalking someone, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You try to be there and look at them, but they're not supposed to see you.
Really, what we've discovered is that Show, by not scouting, is actually the least creepy player in StarCraft 2.
That's actually true. He is the least creepy player in StarCraft 2. I'd agree with you.
Okay.
And you know what? Stalkers are misnamed. They don't do a lot of stalking. It's the probes that are stalkers.
That's true.
Probes and observers, man. Observers are even more creepy.
Probes are just creepers, man. The invisible ones especially, but probes just kind of walk up and just kind of nudge you to death.
A machine specifically constructed to peep.
Yes.
That's what observers are.
Creepy.
That's right.
Creepy.
So, Show, probably going to go for that gasless expand. Not too surprising there at all. But, he's not doing anything like walling himself in with it, so Socke is going to get to know right away because he scouts.
That is very true, yes. And he's going to get in there pretty quickly now. But Show, what is his approach in this game, though? I mean, we've seen him try something really weird. We've seen him try more conventional macro builds. We've seen him even have an advantage in some of these games. But in my opinion, I think he needs to step up the aggression. Not the all-in style aggression, but just be able to get out there, be more active on the map, pulling Socke apart a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, really, there are some early barracks timings that if Show decides to go with it, he could maybe get in and do some damage to his opponent, especially because Socke has been going for more of a tech-heavy sort of play. So there's some little weak points here and there in the build. So Show could try to take advantage of that. I just feel like he's really stuck on the late game, and oh no, this is not good at all. He's going to be able to deny this command center for a little while here. Okay, that wasn't quite as bad. Putting the pylon down too. Nice thing about being Terran, though, is you can just start your building anyway.
Yep,
just
exactly.
Move it a little bit.
You just have to move it a bit, but it still is an extra delay. I mean, the lift time of the command center slowly floats over and then lands back down. It is an additional delay and an annoyance. So Socke just wanting to play things on his terms, and he is putting up a Nexus himself.
He actually got that probe away even, too.
Yes, he did. There it is, Hero Probe.
Yep, so it looks like we are going to go into a more passive TVP yet again. I'm curious to see if Show's going to go ahead and double gas after this. It looks like he is getting his second barracks first.
Yes.
Let's see if he decides to add on a third and a fourth right away. Nope, he's getting his gas.
Yeah, does have first gas coming up. He did this variation before, if it ends up becoming this, where he did single gas, then third racks, then second gas very quickly thereafter. But may have something altogether different in mind.
That's an interesting way to do things, too. I haven't quite seen it done in that particular way before. And I'm curious to see kind of how the gas timings line up with that. If you really are able to use the gas you get from the gas before the third barracks.
There it is.
There's the second gas, of course.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, though. It was he did barracks, then he did second barracks, then gas, then third barracks, then gas.
Yep.
So
you're going to be a little bit less on the Marines when you do it this way. And I think that's okay, actually, because he knows his opponent isn't going to be, well, he can assume anyway. He doesn't know because he doesn't scout. But he can assume that his opponent is going to play passive and, go with just a few less Marines. And, someone might be like, well, do it. Does one or two Marines really matter all that much at this point? And in the early game, in TVP, yes, absolutely it does. It could mean the difference between holding something off easily or losing, 2 or 3 SCVs because of some early pressure. So,
sure.
Yeah, absolutely, that can make a difference. I'm not going to say the way Show is doing it is worse or anything like that, because I don't think it is. I think it's a great way to do it in this certain situation. But it's something to kind of consider, when you're playing TVP at the high level. You have to kind of keep track of every little Marine, every little space of time when you could be building something.
Well, Show now, he's got, looks like combat shields coming out once again. So the other time he did this variation of it, that's exactly the route he went, was combat shields. This was actually on Antigua Shipyard was the last time he decided to go for this route. Of course, he missed a little gap in the wall, and Socke was able to take advantage of that with 4-gate pressure, if you remember. But we'll see if Show's a little bit more prepared this go-round.
Yeah, I think, with 2 barracks, as long as he puts something out a little bit farther on the map to see if something's coming, he should be okay. Socke has a pretty defensive setup himself here with the Stalker and 3 sentries. And so I wonder if he's kind of maybe assuming that there was going to be a little bit more aggression early on, although this is a great setup, too, just to kind of put some pressure on your opponent once you do have a few more gateways up.
And he's going for a build order that we have not seen out of him so far. This is actually kind of crazy. It's 2 gates Robo Double Forge, so normally you'll go for that 3rd just to be able to get a couple additional units out there in case of early pressure or whatever, but he is going much, much faster into those double upgrades.
Well, it's kind of like what we saw in Entombed Valley last game. Socke knows his opponent. He is reading show perfectly right now. He's like, all right, I know you're not going to be aggressive, so I don't really need to worry about early defense at all, in fact. I'm just going to go for my forges before any more gateways, get my upgrades going really, really quickly, and just be confident in my late game because, I mean, Socke, let's be honest, he's won pretty handily in all 4 games up to this point, and a couple of those have gone down to some of the late games. So I'm sure Socke is just completely comfortable right now, and seeing what Show has right now isn't really going to change that opinion.
No, he gets a perfect read of his opponent, sees that Engineering Bay is working as well, which always looked very weird to me. It's just like 2 pistons on the side that are just kind of pumping back and forth there.
Excuse me, there's 3.
There's
3 pistons. Look, there's 1. See? 2 on that side.
Oh, you're right.
On that side, right. But you do raise a good point that, you know, what is that really doing?
I don't know.
Maybe
researching, apparently.
Probably just like pumping in air for the people on the inside who are actually doing the work.
I suppose
That'd be good.
I'll buy that.
Yeah, well, air is good. You need air if you're a Terran player.
It can be, yeah. All right, well, 5th gateway coming up now as we see that 1-1 is about halfway finished, a little bit more for Socke, so he's investing his upgrades very well. Of course, hasn't taken any pressure quite yet. We do see the first 2 medevacs popping out for show, though, so he will have the option to drop if he so desires, but if Socke wants to play this true, you know, Creator Prime style, which he will not, it is going to be another big gateway attack as he's going up to a 7th and possibly 8th gate? I don't know. I'm not sure what this probe is waiting for here. Warping a few units off to the right to watch for drops, though.
Yeah, he's just kind of chilling out a little bit here. And if you look right now, I mean, Show does have about a 20 supply advantage, but with those gateways finishing at the exact timing that Socke wants him to, he's going to be able to catch up very quickly. He is not supply blocked in the least, too, so he can certainly warp in a lot of units.
Right, so let's see here now. He's going to need a few more of those units, though, as Photon Cannon coming up now. He could shift those Stalkers down a bit. Is researching Blink at the same time and going up to +2 armor, if not +2 weapons quite yet.
Yep, yeah, he's kind of, it's a rough spot actually for Protoss because you know you need to worry about drops in the main and pressure at the front too. So you need to kind of have your Stalkers in a place where they can defend against those drops, but also get back to the natural in case they need to in a hurry. So this is a tense moment right here for Socke. It looks like it is going to be maybe 2 medevacs worth of stuff for show, and also a poke at the front. Could see.
Very well be. This factory is floating overhead to check for any sort of stalkers, anything like that. Doesn't see them yet, though. It's just going to be able to scout what's going on, so that may convince Show to pick up and start moving some units in there, in which case those stalkers will be prepared. So more making their way in now. Show still doesn't see those units.
It's a trap.
It is a trap.
And, oh, he's taking the bait. He's taking the bait. He's going in, and there are the Stalkers. Oh, no! 2 medevacs immediately focused down. All the medevacs dying.
Wow.
Oh, what a beautifully, beautifully laid out trap by Socke. Show just, wow. If you're Show right now, you've just got to be feeling terrible.
And compound that with the fact that now Socke has his Templar Archives down and 2-2 as well on the way, which means he's going to be able to make a massive, massive push in a bit.
He is supply blocked and down by quite a bit of supply here, but Show just lost so much in that fight. He's in a little bit of trouble. Okay, he is dropping at the natural. That does help. Socke perhaps maybe getting a little bit too overeager.
Yeah, looks like it. He's actually going to continue to push forward here with these Stalkers. This is maybe a little bit of an overextension. Doesn't have a lot to deal with this back at home.
Yeah, we'll see.
In fact, we'll need to warp in things, but he's going to lose his Nexus. So now he has to do a ton of economic damage to make this up. He does have a powerful attack coming through here, but now Show's reinforcing with his units from the side. Things, oh wow, Socke caught up in a little choke point right here. Things not looking so good for him right now. Show is now in a great spot on 3 base versus just 1.
Yeah, Socke actually just made a big error there. I think he got just a little bit overeager. I mean, he knew how far he was ahead in the series, thought he could maybe end it right there, but in this case, it's a little bit better to maybe just send out an expeditionary force to the 3rd base and see if you can harass that there and kind of keep your lead. He went for the kill right away, and he did kill a lot. Oh, barely not getting the medevac. He did kill a lot of Show's army, but still, I mean, Terran can replace things fairly quickly if their macro's good.
Yes, they can. So looks like SjoW going to try and go after this pylon. Socke will be able to clean that up, though, but Socke trying to go back to, well, what is actually just a second base, and has his natural coming back up as well, but his economy is going to be so far set back.
What's the worker count right now? 38 to 45. Oh, man. Yeah, Socke just totally squandered that potential lead that he had with that really aggressive attack. Wow, I'm surprised he went right to the natural like that.
Yeah, well, he's going to try and pop over to the third now and do some damage, which looks like he will be able to do so. SjoW could potentially counterattack, though. We'll see if he wants to come back and defend. No, it looks like SjoW going to try and repair up this orbital command, but unfortunately he's just going to lose quite a few of those workers in the meantime, and indeed he is going to try and press the attack.
Yep, and it looks like Socke will see this, but I've got a feeling Socke is going to be down another base here. There's nothing that's going to get here in time.
Yeah, good decision to pick off a few of those workers and keep some of the units at bay while he goes to work on the Nexus. Bye-bye! Second base goes down in this game now, and Socke, once again, just at such a disadvantage.
Yep, pretty decent storm, forcing some of the army back, but yeah, it's just too pulled apart right now. And we'll have to see if Socke is able to defend. This is looking a little bit dicey here. I think we might actually see SjoW win a game.
There it is. GG.
Wow.
It's not a sweep, and SjoW is taken back